Earnings are coming up, guys. They're creeping up here in 2 days. We have to break down Palantir stock and see how the charts are looking as earnings are coming up here. And later in the video, we'll break down the options chain. We'll look at a bunch of calls, puts, what I'm looking to do. So if y'all find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And you might as well get up to 16 stocks for Moo. Why not, guys? It's free money. Use that link down below or go to stocksarefast.com/Moo. Once you open up your account and fund it with your initial $100 deposit, you get 5 stocks right off the bat, and you get a free share of SoFi stock on top of those 5 stocks, guaranteed. And if you fund your account with at least $1,000 on top of those 6 stocks, you also get 10 more stocks, totaling 16 stocks. And mind you, each of those could be valued up to $2,000, guys. So get on it, guys. Use that link down below. The clock's ticking. It's a limited time promotion, so get on it. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So check it out. It's about 3 p.m. right now. Power hour literally just started like 30 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago actually, and we have Palantir stock up around 1.6%, up 23 cents, as all the indexes are doing pretty well as well. You guys can see we have the Russell up 0.9%, Nasdaq's up 0.5%, the S&P's up, let's see, about 0.6%, as the Dow's up 0.4%, and we have the VIX down, not 5, not 6, but almost 9% on the day. The VIX is now at 18 points, as we have gold a little bit under 2,000 an ounce. It's down 0.6% on the day, and we have silver down about 2% at a little bit under $23 an ounce. So clearly volatility is dying down today, and we have the metals going down as well, which overall is pretty good for the bulls. As you guys know, whenever the VIX is up a ton, metals are ripping. Yeah, there's fear, there's uncertainty in the markets, and today we're kind of getting a bit of a breather out there and a continuation from yesterday's green day that I'm sure you all remember, right? And of course, anything could happen here in Power Hour. It's pretty much the most volatile time other than the first 30 minutes to an hour of trading. So the markets, for all we know, could go red, but as of now, everything is in the green. The indexes, at least, obviously there's a bunch of stocks in the red, but the indexes, the 4 major ones that I look at least, are doing pretty well. So Palantir right now, let's break this down and go over what's going on. Then we'll talk about the options chain in a couple of minutes here, so make sure you guys stick on throughout. So Palantir stock is somewhat holding the support from yesterday. You guys can see we bottomed at about 1460 roughly yesterday. Then we saw a bit of a pop in Power Hour, followed by a dump in the last 30 minutes of Power Hour. And you can see pretty much today all day we held about 1460, 1455, which is good. But if we're nitpicking here, guys, if we're being very nitpicky, right, we can see we hit 1450 on the dot in the pre-market. Was that in the pre-market? Yeah, it looks like that was in the pre-market, which means we slightly took out the lows from yesterday, right? Being about 1458, 1460. If we're nitpicking, we did take out the lows from yesterday, which overall is not a good sign for the bulls, right? If we're really looking at the nitty-gritty here. And yes, since that point, we have rallied pretty much all day. And now it looks like on the intraday, we're about to go test the highs of the day, being about $15, which if that breaks and we rally into close, that'd be awesome. But again, Power Hour, anything could happen. But overall, yeah, man, we took out the lows in the morning, and now we've been recovering all day with, maybe a shot to $15 plus at this point. But even if it does do that, guys, we're still going to be in a downtrend on the 5-day, 5-minute, 10-day, 30-minute, you name it. I mean, you guys know at this point, we're still in a downtrend. We're under the moving averages, at least the 180 SMA on this 10-day, 30-minute chart. And even if Palantir runs to 1550, we're still going to be under that moving average, which you guys have to realize. And sure, if this point breaks, phenomenal. Maybe at that point, we might get a legitimate reversal on Palantir, but we're not quite there quite yet. And you can see clearly on the 20-day chart, still in a downtrend, death cross as well. And on the 4-hour chart, I mean, look, we're in a wedge. You guys probably remember, I've covered this time and time again, but doing a quick refresher here, you can see we're making lower highs at the same time as we're making these higher lows. And the main support that we have to look at heading into earnings on Thursday is this $13.85 to $14 range, $13.75 even, you can say, right? $13.75. That held as support back in June, end of June, right? Middle of August, end of August, back in the end of September as well. So if we do flush through 14 to 13.75, things could get uglier, in my personal opinion, guys. But as of now, it looks like the bulls are fighting at the wedge for maybe a pop towards the top of the wedge. Maybe. Big old maybe, guys. We'll see how that ends up playing out. So Palantir is looking pretty interesting here, technically speaking, heading into earnings. And I would love to see more direction from the stock. And it looks like we're probably going to get that after earnings, or maybe tomorrow, the day before earnings. As you guys probably know, they're set to report Thursday morning. So pretty much tomorrow is the last full day of trading before the numbers come out. And you guys know Palantir, man, it's one of those stocks that could go anywhere or everywhere, pretty much all over the place, the day before earnings in anticipation of earnings. So let me actually pull up the Robinhood options chain. And full disclosure, I'm not a huge user of Robinhood, but I do like their options chain, the way that they have it laid out. Like I've said before, it's very nice, the user interface. I don't really trade much on Robinhood, to be honest. I only have like 20 bucks in my account here, but for the sake of the videos, I use Robinhood sometimes here and there to show you guys what's going on the options chain. So we can see here we have puts and we have calls, right? Calls, you buy calls if you want to, make a bet that the stock price is going to go up in, a period of time, whether it's by next week, next month, next year, right? To keep it in layman's terms. And puts, you buy puts if you think, well, the opposite's going to happen, right? You think the stock's going to go down a bunch. You want to profit on the downside. Maybe you're long. Let's say you own 1,000 shares of Palantir, and you're like, oof, man, maybe these earnings aren't going to be as good, or maybe the stock's going to weaken in the next month or two. You can actually place a hedge. You could place a bet that, all right, if the stock goes down, I'm going to profit nicely on that with buying puts, right? Or by buying puts. And you still own the stock in terms of shares, right? So the idea would be, okay, if you think Palantir is going to go down, you still want to own your shares, though. You don't want to sell your shares. You can make money on the downside by buying puts, and then you can make a decision, of what to do with those profits. That's if you make a profit buying puts, which you guys know. Let me be honest with you all here. In terms of options, right? Trading options, you make more money, statistically speaking, by selling options, not by buying them, by selling them, which I have a bunch of videos on the channel here, guys. Make sure to go type in on the search bar, Stosserfest, Stos Talk Stocks, and type in options, selling options. You'll see all my videos on selling options. I don't want to get too deep into that in this video, but overall, man, that's a great way to hedge. If you think the stock's going to go down, which I'm not saying it's going to go down this go around with earnings. I mean, who knows what's going to happen. But overall, you can see a cool thing you can do here, guys, is you can see the open interest on these different strike prices, right? We have 1450, which is slightly under where we are right now, and these all expire on November 3rd, right, guys? So we can see how many open positions, in other words, there are on these different, contracts, right? We can see here 1450. We can see open interest of a little bit under 5,000, right? Which is interesting, right? A decent number there. We can see $14. The open interest is 5,200. You can see right there. We can see here open interest for 1350 is at 7,600. 1250, we have 1,800. It starts to fizzle out the lower the strike price gets. Makes sense, right, guys? I mean, it's more risky the lower the price gets, especially as these puts are set to expire in 3 days from now, guys. And for me, I'm not a big fan of buying calls or puts. At least I don't want to say in general, but especially when the strike price or when the expiration date is very soon, right? If it's in 3 days, a week from now, 2 weeks, it's a little bit risky because time when it comes to options is, it works against you, right? If you're buying them. If you're selling the options, well, time is your friend. You want the time to, whittle down, right? And you want the options to expire worthless because that is when you get to keep your shares and you get to keep the premium, which we're not going to get into in this video. I mean, selling options is different, but you can kind of see where people's money is sitting or what bets they're making by simply looking at the open interest, right? Again, there's a lot of contracts or a lot of people are holding the 1350s right now, the puts, right? And if we go to calls, let's see what the calls are looking like, which means, again, if you're buying a call, do you think the stock's going to go up, right? So let's say, it's at 1493 right now. What are the 1550s looking like? All right, open interest of 4,200. We have the $15 ones at 5,300. Okay, $16 strike price, 8,000 open interest. So it looks like more people are leaning towards the calls right now. 10,000 open interest on the 1650 strike price, 17 strike price at 8,800 open interest. You guys can see that 1750 at almost 7,000 open interest. So if I were to gamble on this, guys, I'd probably buy some calls at $15, but I'm not a big fan of buying ones again that expire in 3 days. That's just way too short of a time, especially as they report earnings on Thursday, right? I mean, geez, guys, the day before they expire, they report earnings, which is risky. So I would probably go to the November 10th or the 17th if I were to, gamble on this, which it's a gamble. It's a pure gamble. Keep that in mind. I mean, look at this. If we look at the 1550s that expire not this Friday, but next Friday, 1550 open interest at 1,600, right? $15 open interest at 1160. So that's a quick little way that you can see, all right, where is money at right now? Who's buying what? How many contracts are out there for the specific strike prices? Just look at open interest. That's a trick that I like to use. Simple. I mean, it's not like it's a revolutionary thing here. No, guys. But it's interesting to see the options chain and dive deeper into it. And I have a bunch of videos on this stuff, guys. Just type in my name and type in options, and you'll see all this stuff here on YouTube. So that's a quick little breakdown on what's going on the options chain. A little bit of insight there on the charts as well. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and you might as well hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe here on YouTube. It's free. And follow me on X at Stas Talk Stocks. Link down below. And if you have not gotten your free stocks yet from Moo, what are you waiting for? Use that link down below. Once you open up your account and fund it with at least $100, you get 5 stocks, each up to $2,000 right off the bat, and you get a free share of SoFi stock on top of those 5 stocks, guaranteed, guys, again, with just a $100 deposit. And fund your account with at least $1,000 on top of those 6 stocks. You get 10 more stocks, totaling 16 stocks, and I'm telling you guys, this is the best promo right now by far. So use that link down below or go to StasSurfS.com/Mumu. Get your stocks. Let me know which ones you get. And with that being said, guys, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.